So hello everyone, it's Sakuems here. So this new video is going to be a speed paint, and this time I've decided to go back to commentary, and I'm gonna do a Q&A part 2. I have 16 questions, and I'm gonna try to answer as quickly as possible and not spend forever replying to every question. But first I want to talk a little bit about this artwork. So this is called Flamenco, and it's basically an artwork featuring a Hispanic dancer, and I sketched this a long time ago, a month ago. I think it's even like a year old or something, and I traced it on a like Inktober kind of watercolor paper, and then I stretched this on my paper stretcher, and then I completely forgot about it for like a month, and I finally got into this. And yeah, and I also used a different kind of watercolor. I'm using, you can't really tell, it's out of frame, but I used the Kansai Kuretake watercolor set, which is like a Japanese watercolor set, and you can tell that it's really highly pigmented, and it was quite hard to work with actually. So I will try to make a review if you're interested, but there's already tons of reviews on this online, so yeah, I don't think I need to make a review, but I'll definitely want to work with it a bit more. And so yeah, I kind of struggle a little bit with this artwork because of the paper that I've used, which is like, you can tell, I mean, I could tell while I was working with it that it wasn't really highly blendable, and I decided to stop using this kind of paper, at least for such artwork. It's not a bad paper, it's a good paper, but it just doesn't work with my own technique and like the way I'm using the paint. But I'm pretty sure I can still find a way to use it, but I forgot that I used this paper since I traced this like a month ago, but it still went well. I just had to use a bit more like layers, like a bit more Copics and a bit more colored pencil, but it's still, I still managed to do something nice, and you will see that in the end of the video. But talking about the artwork a little bit, so this is kind of cliche, you know, it's not like highly original, and I'm not trying to like do some sort of like culture appropriations or stuff like that. Like I said, I sketched this a long time ago, and I was just searching for like, I just searched for like Hispanic dancer in flamenco kind of thing, you know. So I did just the old school kind of girl with like the dark hair, the flowers, the red dress, and I also added a couple of fans, and you know, I just wanted to create something that has a lot of like dynamic and like really the flow of the dance. And I know it's also, I think the flamenco is also like a music. I don't exactly know for sure if you exactly know what it's supposed to be. I thought that it was a dance, but it may be also a sort of music, but I just wanted to name her like that, to name this piece like that, because that's just what was my main idea, was towards this kind of thing. And she doesn't look very Hispanic kind of with the facial structure and everything, but I still think that she has a complexion. You will see later in the video that she has like tan skin, but not like too, you know, she definitely looks like she's maybe from Spain or Argentina, or I don't know, like anywhere you will maybe find this type of culture. But yeah, I enjoyed working on this a lot, and I'll hope you like this video. And if you're interested into getting the print, I will add the link at the end of this video, and then you will be able to get it. So now back to the Q&A parts. So I'm gonna jump into it. I don't exactly know if you remember the questions, so I'm just gonna ask them, and will reply to as many as I can. And I'm not sure exactly which one I've replied to in my last Q&A, but I don't have the list of the ones I replied first, so hopefully I don't have any like hopefully I will not answer a second time, but if I do, it's okay, I guess. So let's just jump let's just jump into it. So what are your favorite types of paper for the different mediums you use? And I know you use many different ones. It is true I'm using different kind of paper, although my go-to is always watercolor paper, because when I'm doing mixed media, I can't use any kind of Bristol or Copic paper because the water will just melt the paper. It doesn't work at all with it. Now I have a couple of my favorite paper. For Copics, I used to use the JNK Design luxury cardstock, but they stopped shipping them to the Europe. They only ship in US. And I ran out of my Ivory cardstock, so I can't use it anymore. I think I have like 2 or 3 left, and I can't order more. So when I was working on my mini artworks, I found a different kind of paper for Copics, and it's the Clairefontaine pollen paper, and I don't think you can find it anywhere else besides maybe you can find it in Europe if you live like in Europe, but I don't think it's available in like any other country, but you can probably get it online, and I really like the paper. And as for like mixed media artwork, I tried a couple of the Canson paper, and my favorite so far is the one I've used for my Sanja watercolor artwork, which is the Moulin du Roi. It's like a very, very soft finish texture, and it's like pure cotton, and it's glued on all sides, so I can work with it and not even like thinking about stretching the paper. And I have a pad in a A4 and A3 size. It's actually a little bit bigger than that, but yeah, it is my favorite paper. And I'm also using the Artboard by Canson, but yeah, that's just my top 2 paper, I guess. And if I wanted to work with colored pencils directly, I probably pick like the maybe the Fabriano Artistico or like any kind of drawing paper, but thick enough, you know, to work with colored pencil. But I'm leaning towards soft texture even with watercolor paper. So yeah. Next question. Oh, this is pretty long. I'm gonna try to answer quickly. Which art supplies would you think is the best to buy for artists with a limited budget? If you don't have a lot of money, I actually suggest you spare money in order for you to get higher quality tool. I always say that to people, but like if you're serious about being an artist, or if you're really like passionate about it, I think it's better to get at least a medium quality tool. Don't go for the cheap stuff, because you will not find the potential of it, and you will be frustrated because it's not gonna be like, you know, you can't do things with it. So I probably suggest you just pick like it depends on what you want to do. If you're like more of a painter, or if you want to draw more, I will stay away from markers at first, because markers are quite hard to work with if you're not familiar with blending. And I think having some practice with like a medium quality watercolor set can help you when you're working with markers, because you will find that it's kind of like a similar technique because of the way the ink works. And as for practicing shading and really learning the process of layering color, I think having a medium set of like 24 medium quality pencils, like the one made by Derwent, for example, or Faber-Castell, not the polychromos because they're super expensive, but like the medium quality range that the brand has should be good. I actually learned to color for like a long time. I just used the Staedtler pencil, like the Norris Club kind of thing, the old version, but like basically I worked for years and years with just colored pencil, and then I discovered watercolors. I was like 17, like markers I was 18 or something. I spent the majority of my learning time working with pencils. So I'll probably just go with pencils, a nice paper pad of like drawing paper, maybe you know, the regular tools like an eraser, a nice set of graphite pencil, and then you're good to go and you can learn from that. So a set of Copic markers, artist quality watercolors. Like I said, I think if you want to spend money on and like learn really well, I will go for watercolors and then Copic markers, but I'm not the right person to answer to that because I'm mixing the two tools. So if you can, you should get both. You should get like the two of them, but I know it's quite expensive. So anyway, now, will you be doing more graphite marker artwork? I don't know. Maybe. I really just. The thing is, though, I don't have that many colors, and I'm still trying to know them because I'm used to the reference and like the numbers and the names of the Copic markers, and I don't have this reflex of picking the graphite markers. But I will definitely try to work more with them one day, but I just don't know when. At the moment, since I'm working mostly with watercolors and colored pencils, I'm using them like sparingly, like here and there, for backgrounds and things like that. But I don't use them that much. But I will do more Copic, like alcohol based artwork, and if I do that, I will definitely use the graphite marker a bit more. So, in your own personal opinion, what do you think graphite markers lacks in comparison to Copics? So, if you're not familiar with the graphite marker, they're basically a French brand, and that's like a Copic knockoff. But just they are similar, but they don't have the ink refills, and they have a brush tip, but you have to buy it separately. So, if I wanted to compare, I think, as the marker itself, they have the same quality, although I feel like now I work with both, but I'm more familiar with Copics, and I feel like the Copic inks tends to maybe be harder to blend. Actually, you have to apply more colors. Graphite it depends a lot of the paper as well, so it's kind of hard to say, but the graphite range is quite nice. If they had refills, they will be as good as the Copics in my eyes, but they don't have they have less colors, but they still have a lot of colors, so I feel like they are quite good, you know. So next question, who's your favorite YouTuber? Oh gosh, that's quite hard to pick because I watched a lot of them. So if I wanted to pick like different category of YouTuber, so as for the artist, I feel like if I want to pick just someone that I want to watch, I mean, like there are a couple of people that I watch every day. I like a lot. I like Bailey J. I like to watch Jenna Marbles. She's just hilarious. At first, I didn't really like her because she was cursing a lot, but then she got into me. Like I starting to really just appreciate everything that she was doing. I also follow Babs Beauty, not really the beauty channel, but like her vlog channel, and like a couple of artists here and there. But I just let me check. For some reason, I completely forgot. I'm subscribed to so many people, and I can't even name people. But yeah, that's probably my top three, like Bailey J, and then Jenna Marbles and Babs. I also really like Graveyard Girl. She's kind of like hilarious, and that's like my top 4. And I also like to follow like some cookie channel, and the best one is Cooking with Dog, I feel, because of like Japanese, you know, Japanese recipes. And who else I love? That's, yeah, I mean, I watch a lot of other artists, but that's basically it. That videos that I watch regularly are like, okay, this is a top 5, so if I had to pick like a last one, will probably be a shout out to Mr. Bokeh, and I will put a link in the video description. She's an artist. She's doing crazy, amazing like artwork with mixed media too. She also you mix like watercolors, Copics, and colored pencil. Sometimes she just do colored pencil, but she's really talented. So yeah, that's about that. Like my top 5. Oh, I have to pick one. I'll probably just stick with Bailey J because I watch her vlogs and her art video too. So yeah. Next question: do you have any tips when it comes to creating your own YouTube art channel and with making quality videos? I love your videos. Thank you. I have tons of tips, but I feel like it will be a better decision if I will just telling you to just check Bailey J channel, because she made a YouTube channel video with like 20 tips, and it's very well made, and you probably just learned a lot from this. So yeah, just check her channel, that will help you out. Another person asked me, how did you go about selling your art and making it as an artist? I know it's difficult to put yourself out there, so how do you recommend promoting your art? How did I go about selling my art? It's not easy. That's the fact. Maybe for some people it might be easy. If you the hardest part is to build up a following online, and for some people spend like years and years to build up their following. And there are a couple of artists online that are quite famous, like Loish and Sakuems, and like probably more, but I can't remember the name. But yeah, like those two, like they have a huge following, so it's easier for them. But even like that, it just takes time, and it is not easy, because even though internet is quite like open, it's very open, you can reach out to billions of people, it also means that every artist is going to try to do the same, and you have no idea how many artists there is online. It's crazy. It's just really insane, the amount of people who are trying to make it in this industry. It's quite terrifying. So it is difficult. You just have to be true to who you are and just do your best and try to promote your art everywhere. I think having a YouTube channel is just really important, but then again, there's like some artists who are quite famous without a YouTube channel. You can also use DeviantArt. You can also try to go with Facebook and Twitter and things like that. But I feel like it was easier like 5 or 6, like 6-7 years ago, before even YouTube and everything, because now internet is like all the social media and everything is getting quite huge. And it's kind of like, it was maybe easier to, to be noticed 10 years ago than it is right now. So if you're a new artist, then you just have to do your best and just be everywhere and just post and create content and listen to feedback and just work and just take your time, because it may take years to just be able to make a living. And I've been doing that for my YouTube channel is quite old, but as for like being a self-employed artist, it's going to be 2 years in November, and it's still a struggle in many ways, but I will do a separate video about that, so I don't want to talk too much about it. Next video, who inspired, next video, what the hell? Next question. Someone asked me, so it's a combination. There was like 2 people asking kind of like the same question, and the 2 questions are: who inspires you in art, or where do you get your inspiration from, and do you have any tips on getting inspired? So speaking about inspiration, I will also do a separate video, because I want to do more like art vlogs and like actually talk about a specific topic. And but my inspirations, it's kind of hard to describe. I'm a lot into like fantasy artwork, and I also like when there's a lot of details. So I wouldn't say I'm inspired by someone or something. It's a whole. It's like a whole. It's like when I'm seeing artwork that I really like, or pictures with like emotions that if I'm feeling something when I'm looking at the artwork of someone else, and I will just like maybe save the artwork on my computer or put in my favorite on DeviantArt. And like I really like when an artwork is mesmerizing and that you stare at it and you can't even look away. and that's something I want to do with my own artwork, is just captivating the audience. And I'm getting there. It's really hard to find this when you're working, because yeah, it's just, that's my inspiration, and what I want to show in my art at the moment is having a, like, just something captivating. Like, you really want to look at it, and it has to look really like three-dimensional and everything. But yeah, as for tips on getting inspired, you just have to go on DeviantArt and just search for anything, or just like go on the popular of the day or something like that. And what I love to do is browse the favorites of the artists that I watch on DeviantArt, because you're gonna see everything they like, and I feel like you just get a lot from it. So yeah. Next question: what do you use to record your computer screen? I'm using a software called AVS video editor, and yeah, I like it, but it's not like super fancy. My one is kind of, the one I have is a little bit rusty. Like, there's a couple things that don't work, but it's working from what I'm doing. But I don't really use I don't really record my computer screen because it just takes too much memory and everything. But yep, I'm using AVS video editor. Next question: have you planned any tutorials that are coming up soon? Love you. Thank you. I do have tutorials. I have a huge list, but it's just, making tutorials takes forever. And what I'm working on right now, I'm just like, with the book that I have planned and commissions and Patreon and such things, I just don't have time to like work on like tutorials for like 2 to 3 days a week. It just takes a long time to do. But I will maybe just do more like art tips video, like not exactly like a long tutorial about something, but more like little things. Maybe like, I don't know, like color a flower or draw a cat, or random things like that. I might do that. I do have one that I planned. It was like to do like mermaid hair, but I already did a hair tutorial on my YouTube channel, so we'll see about that. But I don't have any tutorials coming soon. For next month, I do have a speed paint. I want to do a Halloween video and a challenge, and I think that will be it. So no tutorials for now, but I will hopefully have more time. I don't know when, but I'll try. So next question: what kind of watercolors do you use? The one I'm using is a mix. I have different brands. I have the Winsor & Newton Artist watercolor. I have the Lucas kind, a Sennelier, couple shades, and I also, like you saw me in this video, I also got a new set, which is the Kansai Koretake watercolors, and they're more like gouache kind of watercolors. They're quite interesting to work with, but my go-to will have to be the Winsor & Newton one. But yeah, I'm using a mixture, like different brands. I also have the Van Gogh one. I'm kind of it's getting blurry. I'm so tired. Okay. Another question is: how did you obtain such pretty coloring in all your drawings? Color theory. And I suggest you just try, if you're interested about like my, I guess, how I pick colors and what I do with colorings, and why does it look like dimensional, and like there you can see that the colors look great together. It's all about the color theory. It's about finding the right hues, the values, thinking about the color wheel, what colors work together, and colors responding to another, mixing warm colors next to cold colors to create a contrast, having a bit more blues or purples in the red. Or it's all about like finding how colors work together and create also depth in the artwork. And it's very hard to explain with just a question, but it's just about learning how colors works together. And if you're interested, I really highly suggest you just search more videos about color theory, and you can also try to check my Copic video where I talked about how to pick colors, because I'm talking a lot about it in depth. Next question: what is the first type of alcohol-based markers you ever bought or used? So I discovered the alcohol markers when I was attending graphic design high school. So I was 17, I think. No, 16. I was 16, and it was on the supply list that I had to buy for the school, and there was the Traya, and not the fancy kind with the brush. It's the old Traya by Arteza, and with like no brush tip whatsoever, and it was super dang expensive, but I found about them and I loved it already. And I'm 28 now, so it's been like more than 10 years that I've been working with markers. So I don't have a lot of time left. Let's see if I can do all the questions. So I've noticed you put some blues and purples in skin to create more depth. How do you know what colors to add to create that effect? I'm using purples and blues as an undertone just to replicate the veins and like what you have under your skin. Because I don't know, color theory again, I guess. But you can also use any kind of color as a undertone. Actually, you can use green, you can use yellow, you can use pink. I just like to use purple, but it's up to you actually. And yeah, I will also recommend you check the skin, like kind of how to color skin with Copic markers time lapse that I did, because I'm talking a lot about like how to incorporate such shades into the skin. So yeah. Next question: when did you realize that you wanted to be an artist? I think I was 13 years old, or not even close. No, I was 10. It was for a contest in my school, and we had to draw like a little phone card thingy, like a design, and it was a contest, and I just loved it so much. And I was like, yeah, I was like 10 going on 11, and I was like, oh, when I grow up I want to be an artist. That's it. Random questions: do you like ducks? Yes, I'm a little ducky swimming in the river. What is your favorite type of medium to use, and what is your favorite artwork you've done within the past year? My favorite tool, if I had to pick and work only with it forever, would probably have to be Copic markers. As for my favorite artwork, it's kind of tricky. I still have a lot of feelings for my Leona's dreams, because it has so much meaning behind, so I will pick that one. And the last question, which I already almost replied, is how long have you been using Copic markers? And I think it's been about 6 years or so. Yeah, probably maybe even 7, somewhere. But yeah, that's about it for this video. I wanted to make a longer version so I can have the so I can do like all the questions, and that way the Q&A 2015 is complete. So thank you for watching, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.